Hey guys, so I have been wanting to do an update video, but we've all been sick, and with Christmas and everything, it's just been something that hasn't happened. And so I thought I would sit down tonight before I go to bed and give a update. If you saw my last chatty video, you'll know that I've just been really overwhelmed and stressed, and so I just thought, I would sit down and chat with you guys before bed. So everybody's had, I don't know, some type of cold, virus, something. I don't know. Started with little James coughing, and then he ended up with a runny nose and a headache, and then Maddie got it, and then Penny got it, and Mika got it, and CJ got it, and then this morning I woke up with the runny nose and the fever, and by this afternoon I had a really bad migraine, and I sat right here and I told the kids, let's watch a movie, and then next thing you know, I'm waking up, and that was at about 1, and it was like 6, and Maddie was still asleep in my lap, and the rest were all still zoned out on TV. Okay, and guys, so I took my towel out of my hair and put it up in a messy little bun so we can chat. So every year around September I have a really hard time because when Penny was like 4 months old, I found out I was 4 weeks pregnant, and I lost that baby at 26, almost 27 weeks, so I was pretty far along, and it was really, really, really hard for me. I did find out 5 weeks after that I was pregnant again with little James, and so I was really, really hormonal because, I had just had Penny, I had postpartum depression, I found out I was pregnant, I was really stressed and depressed and everything, and then I lost that baby, and so then there was a lot of like, I felt like it was my fault because I was stressing and worrying, and I felt like I caused the miscarriage. And so then when I lost the baby, I was just all kinds of a mess again, and again still very depressed. And then I turned around 5 weeks later, found out I was pregnant with little James, and I was just even more overwhelmed with, am I going to lose this baby? What am I going to do? And all these things. And then while I was pregnant with him was Penny's first birthday, which was also my due date for when I was due to have the baby I lost. And so it was a very, very hard time for me. And I went through that pretty much alone because nobody in my family or anything ever reached out to me with everything that was going on. Nobody ever, they just kept saying like, well, stop getting pregnant. But, it wasn't ever anybody, just saying, are you okay? Or, anything like that. So anyway, it's a very hard time for me. And before all of that, the same day as I miscarried, but 2 years before, was when I left my ex-husband. There was a lot of reasons as to why I left him, but also I felt like, when I get married, it's forever. It's not, oh, we're married and we're in love until we're not anymore, and then we'll marry somebody else. That was, not at all an intention that I had in my life. I wanted my marriage to be through and through till death do we part. And so it was a very hard decision. My ex-husband was frequently cheating on me. He was frequently gambling to the point that we were constantly in debt, and he was using drugs. I didn't know about the drugs until towards the end when I found drugs in the house, and then when I brought it up to him, it was a very bad situation. And then he disappeared, and he kept doing that where he would disappear for days at a time. And then yeah, when I finally decided to end it and I was done and I stuck with it, the reason I stuck with it is because his aunt stuck with me. I mean, it was the first time that anybody stuck with me. And see, now I'm gonna get emotional again. Huh. And I told myself I wasn't going to. Anyways, it was the first time in my life that anybody really like stuck with me, stuck beside me. You know, she did say, hey, if you know, you guys should work on this, you should go to counseling, blah blah blah. But through my deciding not to, she never turned her back on me. And despite what I intended and what I wanted for my life, divorce wasn't in those things, but it happened. And looking back, I'm okay with that because yeah, there is no way I would 8 years later be happy with things the way they were. And honestly, I probably wouldn't be alive because it was becoming a more and more violent and more volatile marriage. And so but the anniversary of that is the anniversary, like the anniversary of when I left him is the anniversary of the same day I lost my baby. And it is also the anniversary of the day they finalized our divorce, which he strung out for several years. He kept protesting things in court with like the custody and all of that, and then didn't show up to the last day of court. And that was a huge blessing because he ended up losing all rights to the kids, and he really, with the path that he was on, did not need to be taking the kids. And some of the things that he said and some of the actions he took, he definitely should not have had my daughter, especially. So I'm gonna leave that at that. Yeah, he didn't show up the last day, and so the day our divorce was finalized is that same day in September. So basically that day, it just, like, it's just hard. And I just fall apart. I don't know. I have tried counseling and things, and it just, September's hard. You know, it's a lot. And even if I was the most stable person in the world, I think September would still be hard. But it's just hard. And yeah, it just, and my husband's work has been very, very up and down. He'll have loads, he'll have no loads, he'll have a truck broke down. Like, his boss will line him up 7 loads, and then his truck breaks down, and he has no truck for a week. Somebody else gets all his loads. So what's that mean? No work, no money. We've had him have a 2-week paycheck for $300 in the last couple months, and we just, you know, we can't live like that. And we had, because he was doing so good this summer with work, we actually had money saved up, and then our dryer broke, and it's just been like one thing after another has broken this house lately. And then we needed propane, and he wasn't working, and bills were due, and it was just like bam, 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 all these things. And it was like no matter what we did, we were not keeping up. We weren't even coming close. And it sucks because, you know, I know my husband especially, he doesn't like to talk about things like feeling inadequate, but, you know, he has said he feels inadequate when he's not getting work because he's up every morning. He wakes up without an alarm at 3 a.m. and he goes out, he gets his truck ready, and he heads out if he's home. Or if he's somewhere, you know, in a truck stop, he gets in his truck and, or, you know, gets up, starts his truck, gets going. He goes as much as they'll let him go. And when there's nothing to do and he's just sitting there, it drives him up the wall. And when he's here, he drives me up the wall because He's like, hey, can we do this? Hey, can we do that? Like, can we have the kids do this? Let's go out and do that. Let's go work on this. And I'm like, wait, I'm trying to teach him. And he's I know he's just trying to fill the time, fill the gap, and trying to do something so he's not so stressed. What is it, Bear? What is it? My dog hears something, I guess. She never actually perks up for anything and she's looking at me funny. Anyways, no matter how low-key you try to make it, Christmas just becomes expensive. And we don't buy our kids things like throughout the year hardly, other than birthdays, because, we want Christmas to be special. So then when your Christmas budget is literally zero, it's just hard. And I know they say Christmas is about who you're with, not what you get, but still hard when you have kids. So I have to say I am really thankful for the people that are in my life that really, really, really helped with Christmas this year, because it just wouldn't have happened. And a couple of people really, really, really did way more than they had to or needed to or anything like that, because I was just shocked that they did that for the kids, because I just, yeah, I don't even know. I'm just, so thankful. And I don't even know how to say how thankful I am, because it's just, I was just completely shocked that they went out of their way to do something like that. So I will forever, 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 forever be grateful that those people are in my life. Speaking of things like that, like the bills and stuff, this is kind of weird. I don't really know what to do. I called our phone company, and because we are on my husband's paycheck, the other day was enough to pay up almost everything we're behind on. And so I called the phone company, and I'd paid half of what we owed them, and I was going to pay the other half on his next paycheck, and that would bring us to current, and we would not be behind on things anymore. We still don't have anything saved or in the bank, but we'd be current on everything, and that would be such an improvement right now. So anyways, I called them, and I did like the automated thing, and it was like, you have a $7 credit on your account. And so I was like, representative? And it brought me to a representative, and I said, I was wanting to pick a pay arrangement on my account and pay the rest of the total balance in 2 weeks. So I did that, and he's like, ma'am, I can't make a pay arrangement when you're paid ahead on your account. And I was like, no, I'm not. I owe $300. And he was like, no, you're current. It's, you're $7 ahead, and your new bill doesn't come out till January 5th, so I can't tell you how much it is, and I certainly can't make a pay arrangement on what you don't owe. And I was like, not sure what's going on, and then I looked at the bill that where we had paid that other half of the $300 we paid the other day, and it shows our balance is zero, which I didn't notice when we paid it, but it shouldn't have been. It should have been $296 is what it should have been. And so I don't know if when I paid the $296 the other day, if maybe we accidentally rang it up like twice, or I don't know. Like somebody said, well, maybe the person in line behind you paid the whatever, the $296 just like you paid, like to bless you, because it was so close to Christmas time, and people sometimes do things like that. But I just don't know. And they kept just telling me, you're $7 overpaid. And so I have no idea what to do, because I'm like, okay, our phones and stuff going to get shut off if there was like some error and they straighten it up later, because I don't know. But I know I was supposed to pay $296 more, and so I don't really know what to do about that, but I'll figure that in the next couple days, I'm sure. But other than that, we are, he he's worked enough the last couple weeks that we were able to pay up and be current on all our bills and stuff, and fix our dryer, which has been broken for, I think, 2 weeks, maybe a little longer. And so that's good because the dryer works and the bills are paid and the kids were able to have Christmas. And so I'm so thankful for all those things. And if we could just get better, which I feel a lot better tonight. I feel like 1,000 times better tonight than I've felt all day. However, my house is a mess and I'm not going to clean it. I made the kids pick up their chips and their Play-Doh and their toys, and we watched the movie Radio tonight, and all 4 of my older kids were crying watching it because they didn't like the way Radio was being treated, and Mika especially was hysterical because she's gone through some things kind of like that, where people picked on her for the disabilities that she has, and she really related to it, and it was really hard for her to watch. But yeah, they all went to bed at 11 because we stayed up watching the movie, and they just weren't tired because they have laid around all day and they are not lay around kids. And so I didn't mind. We just stayed up and watched a movie. I'm doing General Stewart's Feeding My Freezer challenge. Yesterday, before I felt sick today, I did 2 days worth, which I'm glad I did because today I didn't do it. My head was killing me. And so tomorrow I'll be working on that. But in the meantime, I'm getting ready to go to bed. I had plans to do another night of the Feeding My Freezer challenge, as well as working on going through some school curriculum and stuff to figure out what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to donate. But again, I'm not doing it. I'm going to bed after I finish 90 Day Fiance because, yeah, I'm hooked on that. So, I never liked reality TV, ever. But I used to watch it when I was breastfeeding Pitty and then Bubba and then Maddie. Like, they were all nighttime nursers, and so I would sit and there wouldn't be anything on and I'd start watching it, and then I got hooked on it, and Love After Lockup and Life After Lockup, and so now I'm hooked on them. And I guess I do like reality TV, so I'm gonna watch that and then I'm gonna go to bed. But I also need to finish drinking this because I've been pushing Powerade at all the kids and I haven't drank mine, and make sure, since we have not been eating too well, that I am at least getting something in my system. So anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know things are looking up, and things are improving, and I am getting back into videoing and vlogging and editing and getting videos up. I just really needed a life break from a lot of things, and so I'm getting back into the swing of things. I have a Aldi grocery haul and a Walmart grocery haul that are out this week. Next week I'll have a day in the life video up, and a video on some homeschooling curriculum that we use, and what else? Oh, the Feeding My Freezer challenge will be out too. So yeah, those, things are looking up. It's just, it's hard, and when it's a hard time for you anyway, and then you add all of the stress over money and bills and his work and family and life on top of it, and things breaking around you and just life, and then Mika and her health, and a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word I'm looking for. I feel very responsible for Mika's health, and the fact that it's genetic, and I know that it came from me. She has, I've mentioned it in other videos, but I haven't talked about it a whole lot. She has polyjoint juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, and it is nearly every joint in her body. She's 9 and she's not well. For 9, she has good days, she has bad days. We had a couple months this summer where she was able to come off all the medication, and she did really well, and it was fantastic. And then she fell apart. But we are trying. I actually need to call and schedule her follow-up because I think I don't think they scheduled it. I think they were really busy and they told me to call and schedule it, and I didn't because I forgot. So I need to call because she should be having a follow-up soon, I think in January, and she needs to see her doctor, and I think she's going to have labs, and I don't think she's going to be very happy to have labs, but she did a lot better at her last labs and didn't fight or kick or stomp anybody with a cowboy boot on. So that's the positive of that, is maybe she'll do better if she has to have labs next time. But basically she just needs to follow up. She has to see her RA doctor pretty often. We got to go, I think, 4 months without seeing the doctor because she wasn't having flares, and she was doing really well on the medication, but now she's not doing well. She's been swollen up for about a month around her ankles and knees and hurting. She hurts in the morning and she hurts at night, and she's very sore. And she does a lot of yoga. That's something that she has found that really helps her, is yoga, but it's not even helping her right now. So anyways, it's hard to see her hurting. It's hard to see your child have to take 17 medications a night, and it's hard to just not be able to help or not be able to take it away, because I know that it's lifelong and it sucks. And so I have been battling with that, the firm diagnosis for the past year. I mean, we knew. I had her tested when she was 1. The doctor just told me she was negative and let it go at that, and I didn't really think to question it. Later at 7, we had her tested again. She was positive. We had to wait 2 years for the children's rheumatologist to have room to see her. And when I was waiting, I was trying to pull all her records so we'd have it all when we went to see the rheumatologist. And when we went in, they were like, why didn't you get her seen sooner? She was positive when she was 1. Well, the doctor had told me she was negative. 19 or above on the inflammation scale is positive. She was 19. The doctor said, well, that's basically borderline, blah, blah, blah. She could have had inflammation from sickness or who knows. And that could have been why she was that high up on the inflammation markers. And so we didn't question it. Well, at 9 years old, when we had all labs done, her inflammation count was like 26, and 19's positive. But yeah, we could have been doing something to help her back when she was 1. So I have a lot of issues with that, because I do feel like that's my fault, and I know that you can't help genetics, but I just want to help my daughter. So yeah, anyways, things are looking up, and like I said, his work's picking up, and I'm trying to be very positive, and I think we are going to be moving forward and doing better. So anyways, I am going to finish my show so that I could go to bed. But I wanted to give you guys a life update and let you know what was going on with us. So if you are new to my channel, I hope that you'll subscribe, and I would love to chat in the comments below. And if you are already a subscriber, thank you for subscribing and watching my videos, and thank you for everything. So I will talk to you later. Bye.